adopting the International Green Building Code.
When you first meet Jeff Zyontz, you get the impression that this council legislative attorney is a walking encyclopedia of sorts. His job is to advise the council on zoning and land use issues that affect how the county will grow.
The real thing is getting the facts out so the council can make the decision. My opinion is not as profound as theirs. They make the laws. I get the rare opportunity to make recommendations, but ultimately it's their decision.
How do you streamline it to make sure that everybody gets the most important information and lay the hay down where the goats can get it so we can understand it?
Well, sometimes I don't succeed very much. Sometimes my memos are pretty long. The world is complicated. You shouldn't simplify it to make it simpler than it is.
Zyontz has spent more than 40 years in Montgomery County directly involved in land use issues. He was first inspired to get into this line of work by former planning board chairman Royce Hansen, who was one of his professors his senior year at American University.
He just made it alive and interesting, expressed the issues, the analysis, particularly with Germantown at the time. And remember, at the time I was dealing with it, I-270, I believe, was a two-lane road way far north. So it was really rural. We were really thinking out there, or he was in 1970.
Zyontz came to work for the county council in 2006 after 31 years with the planning department, where he started as an intern. There he oversaw some of the biggest endeavors that shape Montgomery County, including the ICC and the Adequate Public Facilities Ordinance. His experience and land use decisions make him one of the council's most valued advisors.
I've actually started working with the planning board in 1973, so I'm almost at 45 years. And at 45 years, you get to see your successes and you get to see your failures. At Park and Planning, you have transportation, environment, natural resources, parks. Those interests are sometimes conflicting, so you try to resolve conflicts. Here, I don't need to negotiate with any other interests. This is a property that's already developed with a special exception on the residential piece. Here, I owe the council my opinions, I owe them the facts, and I do my job. It's it's easier.
You're missing all the real chili in the world. We had a big pot here for you.
But Jeff Zyontz has a unique way of fulfilling his duties, like making sure his chili receives top billing at the council's annual chili fundraiser.
What do you think of Jeff's chili? Are you eating Jeff's chili?
Is that the one, the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
That's good.
Or leading planners and council members through the burial of the county's old zoning code. One thing that you're known for is your ability to inject humor into some of these very tedious and difficult topics. How does that serve you, and when do you decide to interject it? How do you decide when is a good time to interject the humor?
When you're really bored with what you're writing, that would be a good time that you think humor might help.
It was Zyontz' way of putting to rest the biggest issue he's had to deal with since coming to work for the council. He'll tell you it took Michelangelo less time to create the statue of David than it did for the rewrite of the zoning code.
It's some light reading if you liked Russian novels. Not as well written as the phone book was the best people could say about it. It's important to get to a new code because we actually provide for a future of integrated land uses and more urbanized development and a form of development that's more walkable and livable for everybody.
After more than 4 decades in county service, Jeff Zyontz' ability to deal with the complexities of government without taking himself too seriously has served him well. Looking forward, he says he will continue to work with his colleagues to make sure Montgomery County serves its residents well.
Right now, we could use an influx of private sector employment. The amount of housing that's come on the ground is pretty extraordinary. At some point, that cannot continue without some job growth. And we'll do things to improve transit. And we'll do things to decrease the need for transit by putting what people want near where they live. So they don't have to get in their car, they can go walk to get that quart of milk. You know, we were always trying for a world where you didn't need a quart of gas to get a quart of milk. And we're making strides toward that line, and that's pretty impressive.